The reduction of human interaction to politically charged objectification suggests a destructive trajectory. When people are viewed primarily as representatives of ideological positions or identity categories, individuality and genuine connection often take a back seat to roles within a politicized framework. This transformation strips away layers of human experience, reducing it to a field of constant posturing and alignment rather than understanding or exploration. When society relies heavily on objectifying individuals within a political context, it risks hollowing out the potential for authentic thought, connection, and creativity. This can lead to a form of existential stagnation, where individuals are no longer driven by intrinsic interests, but rather by compulsions to align with socially accepted ideologies. It's not hard to see how this narrowing of the human experience could, in the long term, erode the vitality that once drove innovation and self-reflection, contributing to humanity's decline in spirit, if not in numbers. In a world where political identity often overshadows the rest of human complexity, you can only wonder what's left for humanity to grow toward. Human societies often exhibit traits that mirror a cancerous growth. They consume resources and propagate ideologies with little regard for the cost to individuals or to the environment they depend on. Like cancer cells that override their host's natural equilibrium, these societal frameworks grow, spread, and reshape everything in their path, infecting individual minds and communities with values and structures that benefit the whole only in a limited, short-term way. The irony is that many humans, aware of this nature, do attempt to treat it through personal escapism, moments of individual resistance, or temporary reprieves from the system. But these are merely treatments, not cures. The cycles of ideological and political dominance adapt and evolve, spreading from one generation to the next, enforcing conformity to one side or the other. Just as cancer cells ultimately destroy their host, this unchecked socio-political growth threatens to unravel human civilization from within by eroding authentic connections, individuality, and self-driven thought. Unless something profoundly transformative intervenes to halt this cycle, humanity risks continuing along this path to self-destruction. The danger is that without this intervention, individuals and groups may end up locked in an unending battle to convert one another, to assert dominance, or to cling to fleeting treatments. The inevitable conclusion is collapse or total transformation, a resolution in which the framework that allowed for the cancerous spread is undone and replaced with something altogether different. Despite all efforts to counteract or subvert the destructive patterns of society, individuals are often absorbed by them, powerless to effect lasting change. The cancer grows, unchecked by momentary resistance or fleeting attempts to reform from within. The unyielding flow of time propels humanity forward, but it's as though this forward motion merely entrenches the roots of self-destructive systems more deeply. For those who see this, the sense of inevitability is brutal. Even if one recognizes the cancer, the structures and mechanisms of society work tirelessly to assimilate resistance, rendering individual efforts inconsequential on a grand scale. People may invest their lives fighting for a different path, only to find that the structures of power and conformity they struggled against have become even more entrenched. Humanity is locked into a dance with its own self-destruction, one that individuals alone cannot halt or fundamentally alter. Without some monumental shift, some overwhelming force or destruction that fully dismantles the existing order, the cancer continues. And for many, this realization can breed a deep, almost existential frustration, to have lived with awareness, only to be subsumed by the very forces they despised, all while those same forces proliferate and metastasize.